So this is the second part of the chapter 1 revision. So then we discuss up to question number 20, and this video that we are planning to discuss question number 21 onwards. Question number 21 that and 21, 22, 23, 24, they have given four numbers in standard form and you want to write them as ordinary numbers, right? So we'll see how we can do this. So 5.23 that you have 10 to the power 2, that we know what we can do for this kind of question. First we will do this one, 10 times 10, it is 100. And then we have that the 5.23 multiplied by 100. We discussed how to do these kind of questions earlier in the recording also when we were discussing the first 20 questions. This is easy that we want to move to the right side 2 steps with the decimal man. So then that becomes 523.0, but that no point of keeping 0 at the end in a decimal number. So then you just conclude the answer like this, 523. I know that the most of the students, you have the doubt that whether we want to keep that the third space, that the 523.0, is it compulsory? I can't say it is compulsory, but I can tell you something. If you show this 523.0, so that shows that how you move the decimal point from 5.23 to 523. It clearly shows that you have come 2 steps. Now the decimal man is here. Then the last step, why I skipped that and why I just wrote that 523, that I know that no point of keeping 0 at the end like this. Nothing happened to the value. Therefore, I just write it 523. Therefore, you should understand there are 2 reasons why I wrote it as 523.0 to show the decimal movement, or that what the change we did. And at the last step that I just wrote 523 because that no point of keeping the decimal point and 0, that the nothing change with the value. Therefore, I kept it like that. So every step that we have a purpose why we are doing like that. So then the question number 22, that we have 4.56 and 10 to the power negative 6. How we are going to do this? 10 to the power negative 2, sorry, 10 to the power negative 2. And here we have that the 1 over 10 to the power 2. So that means 1 over 100. So then we have 4.56 multiplied by 1 over 100. So that means 4.56 over 100. So my answer will be 0.0456. So after writing the final answer, you just double check in mind whether that the decimal movement was done correctly. Earlier it was in between 4 and 5, and see that whether that the it was changed with 2 steps. So then the question number 23, you have that the 4.5 10 to the power 3. Here I want to discuss a concept separately. That is why I took this sum, and earlier in the video I explained that. But by any chance, if it didn't go to your mind, that you can understand here. 4.5 multiplied by 1000, and we want to get 3 steps movement. But to get the 3 steps movement, here we have 1 digit after the decimal point. So then what we are supposed to do? That we want to jump 3 steps. But to jump 3 steps, we have only 1 digit after the decimal point. So then how we can jump? So that we want to have our own imaginary zeros and we make the movement, right? For an example here, that the 4, then the 1, 2, 3, and the decimal man is here now. You can conclude the answer as 4,500, right? So that is the reason I gave you this question. And then we will move to question number 24. It is 3.8, 10 to the power negative 1, right? What happened? 10 to the power negative 1. So then it is 1 over 10 to the power 1. That means 1 over 10. Then here I write that the 3.8, 1 over 10. And this means that the 3.8 divided by 10, right? So then the final answer is 0.38. Okay, so then all these numbers they have given in standard form, and that this is how we can convert them into ordinary number form. Right, so then we will move to the next set of questions where that you want to write the given numbers in standard form. Right, so then the question number 25, what is the number we have? That they have given 5083. So children that always follow the steps that we know that we want to, when we are writing a number in standard form, what is the theory behind this? That particular number should be between 1 and 10 and multiplied by 10 to the power something. That is the format of the standard form numbers. Now, this number is 5083, very big number. It is not a number between 1 and 10. Now, I want to convert this number to a number between 1 and 10. For that, I want to make some adjustment. So, what the first step, I write this with the hidden decimal name, right? Here, I will explain you, if you have two children, if you write it as 2.0, so the same value, right? If you have, let's say, 17 and you write it as 17.0, so that is the same value. Likewise, that at the end, if I put the decimal and 0, nothing happened to the value, that I can just take the same number but in a different way. 5083, I can write it as 5083.0. So then I can do the relevant adjustment. So to find a number between 1 and 10. So that what is that number? So then here 1, 2, 3, that if the decimal man is here, the number is 5.083. Okay, so that is a number between 1 and 10. So then therefore I can do that adjustment, and in the exam don't draw the arrows like this. Initially I showed you that how it happens, but in the exam we are not drawing the arrows like that. And that here I write 5.0830. How many steps it was adjusted? 3 steps. But you can see that at the end that we have unnecessary 0. Therefore, I conclude my answer 5.083 10 to the power 3. Again, I know that the most of you will ask that the teacher, is it compulsory to have all these steps? That I am telling you, children, that the second step that I came, that the 5.0830, I wrote because it was there originally after getting the hidden decimal point. Therefore, I just kept it as it is, but that when I'm concluding my answer, I know that no point of keeping that 0 at the end. Therefore, I just removed it and I wrote 5.083 10 to the power 3. So then when you look at the question and the final answer, that you can easily find that what should be the answer structure. But in the exam, that even though you know that this is the answer structure, you can't get the answer straight away. You want to show all of your workings. So then I will move to the question number 26. Question number 26, you have 4090. And that here I write that the 4090.0. Then I write 4.0900 10 to the power 3. And I write 4.09 10 to the power 3. Children, now you just see in question number 25, when I come to the last answer, I skip only the last 0, which I created by myself to get the hidden decimal map. Therefore, finally, I just skip it and that I wrote the answer. But in question number 26, you can see when I'm writing the final answer, I skipped 2 zeros. One is, it is in the question itself with 4090, and the other 0 that I took it to have the decimal point. So then finally, I skip both the zeros because there is no point of keeping those 2 zeros at the end if it is a decimal number, right? So then we will move to question number 27, and that is 0.00256. So then here we don't want to worry about the decimal man, that here already in the question, we just want to get the movement and find the value. So then I can write this as 2.56 10 to the power, that the 1, 2, 3, 10 to the power negative 3. So then the question number 28, I write the answer 0.523, and then I write that the 5.23 10 to the power negative 1. Okay. And I know that this is the very common question, that sometimes that if you watch this video that you have not learned, that you have not studied with me, so then you might think that the why that she is writing all these steps. I'm telling you again, my ultimate goal is to train you for the IGCSE exam or the Pearson Edexcel, Cambridge or National O-Level. So this is not a deal with that we are going to do with the grade 7 paper, right? So we want to practice the steps because the marks will be allocated for all the steps in the final exams when you go to the O-Level classes, right? So we will move to question number 29. In question number 29, 30, 31, we have the same question that we have the number 8,699. And question number 29, we want to correct it to the nearest 10. 8,699 children. I underline the listen, that look at this and listen to me carefully. I underline the tens place because I want to correct this number to the nearest tens no. I underline the tens place and I look at the next number. When I look at the next number, if the next number is 5 or more than 5, I should add 1. To where I should add 1? To the underlying number. So then this is approximately equal. Why I can't use the equal sign? Because that whatever the number I'm going to write here, it is not equal to 8,699. It is approximately equal to this whatever the number I'm going to write when I correct it to the nearest 10. So then this become that the 9 become the underlying 9 become 10. So then that I put 0 here and that 1 will add to 6. So then the answer will be 8,700. Here I write nearest 10, right? It is nearest 10 that what happened, that the 99 we have. So that the 9, underline the tens place 9. And then we have the next number 9, which is more than 5. That means we want to add 1 to where we need to add 1 to the tens place. And that when I add 1 to the tens place, 9 becomes 10. Therefore, that I put 0 over there. And then the next, the digit 100 place, which it will be 7 now, because I want to add that the remaining 1 to the 6. So then the question number 30. Now, the 30 I want to correct to the nearest 100, the same number, 8,699. I underline this one because this is the 100th place. And I go to the next number. The next number, it is 9, which is more than 5. I told you a little while ago, if the next number is 5 or more than 5, we need to add 1. To where we need to add 1? To the underlying number. So here it is the 100 place digit 6. So that becomes 7. So then it is 8,700. So then this is to nearest thing, nearest 100, right? Now you might think that even though I'm correcting it to the nearest 10 or 100, that I get the same answer. That is why inside the bracket, I wrote it carefully. Here it is kind of the unusual way that we have got the same answer. But normally we don't get like that. When you correct a particular number to the nearest 10, it gives you a separate answer. And that you correct the same number to the nearest 100, it gives you another answer. So then the 31, we have that we want to correct it to the nearest 1,000, 8,699, that this is the thousands place. And I look at the next number. Again, it is more than 5. Therefore, I want to add 1. To where I add 1 to the underlying number. So then 8 becomes 9. So that is 9,000. And here I write nearest 1,000. Right? So this is how I want to conclude the answer. Then we will move to question number 32, 33, 34. There again you have the same number. What it is? It is 16.987. 987. And at the 32, you want to correct to the two decimal places, 16.987. You underline the second decimal place and you look at the next number. So then it is more than 5. Therefore, I write 16.99. Inside the bracket, I write 2dp, right? So why that 8 becomes 9? Because the neighbor number, it is more than 5. So then we want to add 1 to the underlying number. So this is the second decimal place. So question number 33, we want to correct the same number to the first decimal place. That we'll see what happened. This is the first decimal place. And that we look at the next number, it is more than 5. That means we want to add 1. To where we need to add 1? To the underlying number. So then that becomes 10. And we put 0. And that the rest will be that the 617.01 dp. Now you might have a question. That I have told so many times that when you have the 0 at the end, that you just keep it and write it as 17. Yes. But here, specifically, we have to keep that 0 and show the first decimal place. Because our question, that here the question is to correct the given number to the first decimal place. Even though the first decimal value is 0, we have to keep it and show, because that we want to write the answer to the first decimal place. So then the 34, that I want to correct this to the nearest unit, 987. So then this is the number, and I look at the next number. So then we want to add 1, then this is 17 and nearest unit, right? So then this is nearest unit. Okay, this is how you want to write the answer. Straight away, I will do the 35 question also, because it is similar to the same pattern. It is 9.999, and that we have the 35 question. We want to correct it to 2 dp. 9.999. This is the second decimal place. You look at the next number. So then what will be the answer? That the second decimal place 9 become 10. And you put 0. And you add 1 to the next one. That the next 9 also will become 10. And you put 0. And then the next 9 also will become 10. So then you write 10.00 and you write 2 dp. Why I got these kind of questions? To show you, I know that the 10.00, no point of writing zeros at the end this much. But I have to keep 2 zeros and show that the 2 decimal places. That is how the question instructions they have given. Even though that we don't want to write here, we want to write and show the 2 decimal places. That the value is that the double zeros, but that you want to write it like this. So then question number 36 to 40, it is all about the significant figures, right? So then you know how to identify the significant figure. I will quickly explain you that if you can't remember. So if you have number called, let's say 523. So this is the first significant figure, and this is the second significant figure, and this is the third significant figure. By any chance, if you have a number 0.00523, so then here, this become the first significant figure, right? And that this become the second significant figure, and this become the third significant figure. What you should understand here, that the zeros you have in the front, that they are not considered as a significant figure. to be the first significant figure, always the digit should be something between 1 and 9, right? That it should be either 1 or then more than that, either 9 or less than that, right? If you come across with zeros, so then we are not considering them as the first significant figure. But if you have something like this, let's say 0.002052, right? So then here it is the first significant figure, and this is the second significant figure, and this one third significant figure, and this is the fourth significant figure. Now you might think that the earlier the zeros I didn't consider as a significant figure, but the last example, the zero which is in between 2 and 5 I took as a significant figure. Yes, whatever the zero come across in the number after the first significant figure, I can consider that digit as that zero as a significant figure. I told you. So therefore, you want to understand the significant figures comes that the first significant figure, always it should be a number. And after that, if you come across with the zeros, then we don't want to worry, right? So then we will move to the question number 36. Question number 36, we have 46.935, and that this is the third significant figure because inside the bracket you have 3, and you look at the next number, it is less than 5. If it is less than 5, we don't do anything. We just write that the 46.9, and here we write 3SF. That no need to write that the rest of the digit should be 0. But here no need to write those zeros because it is a decimal number. But if it is a whole number, I will explain here it with this question number 38 and 40. If it is a whole number, that when you are correcting to a particular significant figure, the rest of the digit should be 0. But here that the rest of the digit can be 0, but no point of writing 0. Therefore, straight away you can write 46.9, and it is the third significant figure. Question number 37, you have 0.002058, and then here it is the second significant figure. This is the second significant figure. I look at the next number. It is 5. If it is 5 or more than 5, I need to add 1. So then I write 0.0021. And here I write 2SF. And question number 38, it is a whole number, 54,326. You have the first significant figure here. Look at the next number. No need to add anything. You keep 5 as it is. But the rest of the digits should be 0 like this. Right? So then this is also one big mistake where the students are doing, because when you have the 54,326, you underline this one, look at the next thing. So then you don't need to anything and just write it 5. It is not approximately equal to 5, no children. 54,326, that it is not at all, that we can't see something like that. So you want to add the zeros to the next digits, then 54,326 approximately equal to 50,000 when I correct it to the one significant figure or the first significant figure. That can be happen. But 54,326, that it cannot be approximately equal to 5. So then keep these kind of this small mistake you are doing in the exam. And the next one 0.0985 and to the first significant figure. So this is the first significant figure. You look at the next number. So then it is more than 5. So then what will happen? That the 9 become 10. So then you put 0 here and this 1 here. So then I write 0.102SF. Always keep this in your mind. No point of writing that 0 at the end. But still I write because I want to show two significant figures. That you might think that if I'm writing that the 0.1, that there is also the significant figure. No, there are two digits. 0 and 1, two digits. There are no two significant figures. The significant figure starts from 1. After that, we want to have another significant figure to show that the two significant figure answer. Therefore, I put that the 0.10, that here 0.10, you have 3 digits, two significant figures. Here, you have 2 digits, 1 significant figures. So you want to understand the difference between these kind of things, small terms, but that a huge difference we have that when it comes to the value. The 40th one that we have 498, right? So 498. Second significant figure, look at the next number. So then that becomes 500. Why? That 9 become 10, you put 0, and then that becomes that the 4 becomes 5, and the rest of the digits will be zeros. So then here it is 500 to SF. Question number 41, that it is a separate set of question where you want to correct each number. So then they have given 82.4, 136. What you can do when you have this kind of question, children, you go to the working column. That the 82.4, when you correct to the first significant figure, that becomes 80. Right? So this is the first significant figure. You look at the next number. So it is less than 5. So then that becomes 80. And 136, again, this is the first significant figure. And you look at this. So this becomes 100. So then you write it as 80 divided by 100. The answer is, so then here I can't put the equation mark, that I have to use that the approximately equal. Then I can write 0.8. Question number 42. I have 4,322 multiplied by 725. Again, what I do, 4,302 approximately equal to 4,000, and then the 725 approximately equal to 700. So then when I can rewrite this, approximately this is equal to 4,000 and this is equal to 700. So then that means this is equal to 1, 2, 3, the 2,800,000, right? So then the approximate values that you can get it like this. So then the question number 43, it is 0.582 into 6.25. Again, that 0.582, I can write as 0.6. And then the 6.25, I can write as 6. So then I have 0.6 multiplied by 6. So then the answer is that the 6 times 6, 36. But we want to keep one decimal, that is 3.6. Then the question number 44, that it is a separate kind of question, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 3, and 2 to the power of 5, that I can write it as 2 to the power of 4 plus 3. Why 4 plus 3? It is a multiplication. Same value, the multiplication, I can add the indices. But 2 to the power of 5, that index 5, I can write it as subtract 5 because it is a division. Then the 4 plus 3, 7. 7 minus 5, 2. 2 to the power of 2. The answer is 2 times 2. Then the final answer should be 4 because in the question, they have asked us to write the value. Then the next one, you have 3 to the power of 2 multiplied by 3 to the power of 3 here. 3 to the power of 3 and 2 divide by 3 to the power of 6. How we can write this? 3 to the power of 3 plus 2 minus 6. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 that you have the 5 minus 6, 3 to the power of -1. And you write 1 over 3 to the power of 1. The answer is 1 over 3. So we are done with all the questions, especially from 41 to 43. You want to pay your attention before doing the calculation. Always you want to correct the given numbers to first significant figure. So that you can do in the working column right side, and you bring that whatever the corrected value to the calculation and do the calculation, right? So then that is how you get the answers from question number 41 to 43. And 45 and 40, 44 and 45, you have a combination of addition, multiplication and division. So then when you are doing the addition and subtraction, as we have the same base value, inside the bracket you can do everything, but do it step by step. Like I did, 4 plus 3, 7, 7 minus 5, 2, 3 plus 2, 6, 6, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 minus 6, it is -1. And that -1 I brought down, +1 and 1 over 3. So that is the end of the revision paper, that the chapter 1 revision paper. So this is the question here, that we had 45 questions and we have 2 recordings to discuss all these 45 questions, right? So then we have discussed all the 45 questions.